Hello all, this is Queenie Leem and welcome back to my channel. This video is my 3-week update since my DIY MICROLOCS installation. So in this video, I'm not only going to give you my 3-week update, but I'm also going to show you how I made this DIY sizing card that everyone's been asking me about. So make sure to subscribe if you'd like to continue following my journey. So just so everyone knows, I recently put links to all of my lighting equipment, all of the little tools that I use to interlock my hair, I think some of the shampoos, like all of my supplies in the description box below. So if you're interested in any of that information, you can just find it right down there. So let's get into the video. So first, let's start with my 3-week update. To begin, I'm gonna give you my 360. So here we go. Okay, so now I'm going to summarize basically what you saw. So my grid. My grid, as you can see, it's still visible, but it's not very noticeable. My hair's finally starting to grow out. I did retighten some of the ones in the front, mostly the ones that had, these little ones that had slipped out. I tightened some of the ones up here. As you can see, this one's staying in, but I have to be careful to make sure it's like pulled into a braid for it to stay in. This one hasn't grown yet. Still looks like I just have a little curl, but overall it's looking good. So about the frizziness, I don't know what you guys would think. This is a lot less frizzy than when my hair is in a bun, so there's that. But there's definitely some frizziness. I don't know if you can see it. Take some of the individual ones. So there's some frizziness around the lock and there's some frizziness near my head. I think a lot of the frizziness that's near my head is because my hair looks really thick, but I've pulled out so much hair accidentally or just brushing it, detangling it. So now there's a whole bunch of new hair that's growing out and it hasn't it's not long enough to stay in a lock yet. So as it grows out a little bit, it's going to give me a little bit of a fuzzy halo, and then I'll eventually lock it into a lock. But it's not bothering me. It's not super noticeable, and I don't think it looks unkempt. So let's do a quick lint check. I don't see any lint. Very, 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 very minor dandruff. Very minor dandruff. I don't see basically any. There's like little teeny tiny bits, and I think some of the white that you see is also the bulb of my follicle coming out when my hair naturally falls out. Oh, there's a little lint. Maybe that's some lint. Maybe a little dandruff. Not that much. I think overall I've been really, really lucky with how my hair's been responding. Yeah, so as of now, week 3, no lint. Pretty happy. So now let me talk about shrinkage. So it's a little bit difficult for me to speak on my shrinkage because I was installing my hair in parts over a period of 8 weeks, and I did wash some of the locks that I installed while I was still in the process of installing because I just wanted to wash them. I wanted to see what they would do. So I don't have like a complete head of stretched, unwashed hair versus this. I don't have that to compare it with, but I can tell you You can look at my before pictures. Those pictures of my hair, long and straight, are how long my hair is. That's how long my hair is stretched. So it's about down to here, okay? So down to here, up to this. I definitely experienced some shrinkage. I don't know if I'm going to experience any more shrinkage. That is the question. We will look as my hair continues to mature. I think from the time that I've installed it and then washed it with that apple cider vinegar rinse, I don't know if it's shrunk much more. I wouldn't say that it has. If you guys have noticed it, let me know. Put that in the comment section. I don't think in general it has shrunk much more than the day I washed it. Okay, so let me show you my ends. So in the front, my hair is a little bit looser, and also I installed it after the back. So the curls haven't fully formed yet, and also they're nowhere near closing up in the front, not at all, but they still look okay. So now let's look at a section that I installed, like basically the first section that I installed. Really coily. Super duper coily. So hopefully the ones in the front will eventually look like these ones in the back. The ones that I think have actually started closing up, I do have a couple. Yeah, look, so here I have one that's closing, in the process of closing. You can see there's actually a bud on the end. Oh, here's another one that's closed up. Now, if you want a size comparison between the large locks in the back and the smaller ones in the front, here it goes. So let's just take some bigger ones. Let's take like 3 or 4. Versus some of the smaller ones in the front. So I would say when you're looking at the different sizes, things to consider about this is that I installed these first, so they've had more time to shrink up and swell. These ones I installed, these were basically the last ones that I installed, so they haven't had as much time to shrink, and these ones have probably gone through like 2 more washes than these ones. And then also, these ones are just smaller. Okay, so someone asked me, is my hair itching? And you know, I haven't thought to talk about that because my hair is not itching at all. I experienced no itching. And I think that the reason why I experienced no itching, whereas, you know, in general, most people do experience itching, you're supposed to be ready for itching when you install Sisterlocks or MICROLOCS, is because I have a very oily scalp. So yeah, I don't experience any itching. I haven't put any moisturizer on my hair. I haven't put any oil on my scalp, and I don't intend on it. I watched some videos by a prominent Sisterlocker. I can't remember her name right now, and I don't want to get it wrong, so I won't say it, but she says, you know what, your head's gonna itch. It's really, really gonna itch. Just avoid putting anything on your hair, especially when it's in its infancy. So I don't have any itch, and I don't want to put anything on my hair, and people tell me not to put anything in my hair, so I'm not gonna put anything in my hair unless it starts to itch. I will let you know if it does. Next concern, have I washed my hair? Since my 2-week update, that's a funny story. This video is actually supposed to be how I braid and band and how I wash my hair, but I went to hot yoga on Sunday and I came back and I just wanted a clean head. I was done. Like I say, I get a lot of buildup. And I was ready to just wash it. Also, before hot yoga, I had decided to braid and band it to prevent slippage from, you know, the moisture and the humidity in the air in the room. So I had already braided and banded it, and I came back. I wanted to wash it. I had already done the hard part of the washing, which was the braiding and banding. So I was just like, I'm just gonna do what's right for me. I'm just gonna go take a shower. But about my wash, so I use the Sisterlocks shampoo only because everyone keeps telling me only use the Sisterlocks shampoo, don't mix it with the Suave clarifying, so I did that. And my review of that is that I don't know if it necessarily pulled as much of the oil and sebum off of my scalp as I had hoped it would. I did do 3 washes with it, so it did pull some of it off, but I felt like there was still a little bit of it on there. But I'm wondering if that is part of the method to the Sisterlocks shampoo, and if retaining some of that sebum is maybe helpful to the overall maturing of this style. I know that before my hair was habitually dry, so maybe now that I have sebum traveling down my hair shaft, maybe it'll be a little bit softer. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Also, I'd like to let you all know that I have become a brand ambassador for Finetti's SheTOWEL. So if you don't know Finetti, she is another DIY microlocker. She is actually located in Germany, and she is one of the people who also inspired me to take the plunge and install on my own. So yeah, if you want to check her out, she is one of the people who also inspired me. So this is the SheTOWEL. And I used it on Sunday after I did that wash after yoga, and I really liked it. Things that I like about this. This is 100% cotton, which I really like, and it's like a thick polo shirt material. It's really nice, and I'm really hoping that this helps minimize my lint. That's one of the things that she says on her website, that this should help prevent lint on a whole bunch of different types of styled hair. It says curls, you know, straightened locks, everything. So we'll see. I did use it. I did like it. I like that it's like a thicker t-shirt material. That's really nice. I also like that, you know, if you want to go outside, like if I wanted to go out to a bodega and I'm in the middle of drying my hair, throw it on my head. I can just throw it up like that. I kind of feel like a princess, you know. But it's nice. It's kept out of the way. My hair's drying. It's awesome. Because if my hair were left to dry on its own, it would take me the better part of a day. This way, let's see. I got back from yoga around 6:30. I hopped in the shower. I put this on at like 7. And my hair was mostly dry by 10 when I went to bed. So yeah, it cut down my drying time to like 3 hours. I don't want to use towels on my hair because, like I said, I'm really trying to prevent lint. And towels, especially terry cloth towels, are lint monsters. I've seen a lot of videos of people who didn't know that they were having massive lint problems in the back from towels, from scarves. So I'm really trying to prevent that, and I would recommend it. I'll put the link for this SheTOWEL in the description box below if you'd like to check that out. Yeah, and let me know what you think of it. Let me know any questions, any comments that you have. I'd really like to hear. Now we're gonna transition into how I made my DIY sizing tool. So to start, let's talk about the supplies that we will need. First of all, you will need Microsoft Word, a single piece of paper, a single note card, clear packing tape, measuring tape for reference. You don't necessarily need this, but I used it, and a pair of scissors. That's all you need. Okay, so now we're gonna jump into Microsoft Word.
Okay, so now we are in Microsoft Word. So we start by clicking Insert. Then we click Shape, and you can select this little box right there. Then you just drag the cursor, and when you release the cursor, you should have a nice little box. So it comes in this blue, but I like to immediately change it to white. So I click on it, and then I go to Shape Format. So you click on Shape Format, then you go to Shape Fill, and it automatically puts it in white if you click it, which is no fill, but you might also have to go down there and go to white. I also just made the outline black right there. So now I'm control copying it on my keypad, and now I just did Control V to paste it. So I'm going to do this 4 times so that I have the 4 boxes that will correspond to the 4 sizes that I want to create on my sizing card. So I just place them next to each other to start. Then I click on the first box. So the first box is going to be 1/8 of an inch. So I go up to shape format, and then right here, you can edit the size of the shape. So 1/8 of an inch is approximately 0.125, but for our purposes, we're just going to put 0.13 because you can only put 2 decimal places into Microsoft Word. So 1.3 for both the height and the width. So now we've got a 1/8 size box. So now we're going to do the 1/4 size box, 1/4 of an inch size box. So that's 0.25. So now we've got our 1/4 inch. So now we select the next box, which is going to be 5/16 of an inch. So we'll put in 0.31. The next box, we click on it, and then we go up to shape format again. This one is going to be 3/8 of an inch, which will correspond to 0.38 or 0.375, but for our purposes, we put it to 0.38. And then finally, for the last box, we're going to have our 1/2 inch size box, and that will be 0.5 for both the height and the width. Okay, so now we've got our 5 boxes. So now we're going to put in the titles for each one of these boxes. So you want to make sure that these boxes are close enough together so that they will fit on a note card. So I'm going to put them next to each other first before I put in the text of the different sizes. So I found the information on different Microloc sizing from various sources. The most reputable being a prominent certified Sisterlock consultant who put up a diagram of the different sizes on her social media platform. So I compared that information to the information I found on numerous blogs and forums. So the first one is 1/8 of an inch. So the next one will be 1/4 of an inch. Our third box will be 5/16 of an inch. Our fourth box will be 3/8 of an inch. And finally, our last box and our biggest size for Microlocs, or probably larger than Microloc should be, but I used it, is 1/2 of an inch. So now I'm just going to move them around so that the card looks a little bit more consistent, a little bit more uniform. I like to put the numbers for the sizes above it for a specific reason, which I will show you shortly when we get to the way that the card looks like when we've printed it out and put it onto that note card. But for now, this is just what's going on. So there we go. I'm a little bit of a stickler. I just wanted to look nice and neat. So there you go. Now we have our 5 sizes. We've made our note card, so now we're going to go up here to save. And it's important to save it as a PDF, guys. So you go down here to file format. I'm using a Mac, but file format, and you save it as a PDF. And you want to do that because it's very important to make sure that the format stays the same once you've saved it and maybe sent it to yourself, maybe you email it to a friend or something. If you keep it in the Word doc format, all the format can get messed up unless you keep it in a PDF. So I saved it as a PDF, and now I'm really quickly just going to print this out. Now we have our printed sizing card, and let's just check. Yep, it'll fit on a note card. That is great. So I'm just going to cut it out. So now when you cut it out, your goal is to get this smaller than this piece of tape, because we're going to use the tape to laminate this card. So I can cut this really small. Great. Now we take our note card, and like I said, we want it to be somewhat smaller than the size of this tape. So I'm going to cut it right about there, about halfway. But to still make sure that this will fit, so we're going to put it, yeah, I'm going to have it right there. gonna trim this off a little bit. I'm gonna put it on that card. Now, I have two different types that I made. I made this one where these little bits correspond to the size of the box. And then I also have this version where the cutouts correspond to the size of the box and the boxes. And I would say that this one actually works better for me in terms of usability when I'm putting it to my head and figuring out what the sizes are. So we're gonna make this version. Okay, so we're gonna place it right like that. Now we're gonna take our clear packing tape. You want it to be longer than the card. Now I'm just gonna put it right over it. Still go to the table. Great. Now we do the same thing on the opposite side. Okay, so now we have laminated the card. I cut off the extras, but enough to basically make it waterproof. The reason that I laminate it is because, you know, you're putting it on your head has oil, your hair might be slightly damp, your hands might be damp, you might be doing this in the bathroom. So just to like make this last a little bit longer, I try to make it so it's basically watertight. Okay, so now all I do to figure out this is I just line up my scissors with the line and a cut. Now the reason why I don't just leave this and I also have the box is because when you're cutting it, like lining it up, you might see right now, like this box looks a little bit smaller than this. So I like to keep it there for reference. That's why I find it important. Do it one more time with this one. Okay, so now you just bend back the parts that you want to cut off. So that they are out of the way. And that is it. That is how I made my DIY sizing card. If you want, you can put another piece of tape on it just to make sure that these are more, you know, a little bit more watertight. But, you know, I didn't. And I'm really happy with how I use my tool. So yeah, that is how I made it. If you guys have any questions or comments, let me know. Okay guys, so I hope that was helpful. Now I realize we didn't use this, but I just like to use it, you know, just to check the sizing of it, just in case. And if you look, that is 1/2 of an inch, 3/8 of an inch, 5/16 of an inch, 1/4 inch, and 1/8 of an inch. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, make sure to like below. If you haven't already subscribed, make sure to subscribe below so that you can see my videos as soon as they're uploaded. I'm going to be making a lot more videos like this, so you're gonna wanna be on my subscribe list. And also just thank you again. I'm doing this because of all of you guys expressing so much interest, so much support, and I'm really, really excited to, you know, make my channel more of an open forum, like open information source for DIY Microlocs. So thank you so much. I will see you soon in my next video.